The world's greatest criminal has stolen the greatest treasures, escaped the greatest prisons, and he bears a strong resemblance to someone you know.
It's not easy being mean.
We'll move on to March 21st now, and that's when the Muppets return to the big screen in a new adventure titled Muppets Most Wanted. This new live-action puppet hybrid serves as a sequel to the Muppets, which came out in 2012. In this outing, Kermit the Frog has been framed for a heist and replaced with a doppelganger. As usual, Muppets Most Wanted boasts a host of cameos, including Ricky Gervais, Tina Fey, and Ty Burrell. Jill, I love the Muppets. You love the Muppets, but I think we're both a little underwhelmed by the last movie. So, will Muppets Most Wanted help steer this franchise back on course?
I think this is going to be good. I don't know that it'll be any better than the Muppets, the last of the Muppets movies. I think the Muppets was overrated. So, I mean, at least if you just look at Rotten Tomatoes, it was 96%
That's
positive,
huge.
which is just kind of crazy.
Which is what the Lego movie is at, and I would not put those in the same category in any
two things are not the
any
same.
day of the
So
week.
if you're looking at just the Rotten Tomatoes number, I don't think it's going to be nearly that high, although I think it's going to be good. It looks like a fun movie. I said 82%. Lots of people are going to go see this, although not as many people as you would have imagined went and saw the Muppets. It actually only made $29 million its first outing. I think this is going to do better because people liked the Muppets, whether it was the best movie ever or not. And so I went 35 million, a little higher than that.
Chris?
I think that this is going to fall much more into the realm of reasonable as far as Rotten Tomatoes scores than the Muppets did, which I agree was completely outrageous. I think people were just so relieved to see the Muppets back and in something that wasn't terrible. Exactly right. It was powerful, and now we're sort of inoculated against that same effect.
Right.
I think this one's going to be judged a little more directly on its merits. That said, it probably still has that 15 to 20% bump that we see animated movies getting, just because it's the same kind of family-friendly thing. I think it's going to be pretty positive, but not as positive as before. I'm saying an optimistic 75% on Rotten Tomatoes. As far as box office, it's going to be almost spot on what the first one did, even though Jill's rule is that sequels always do better. I'm saying $30 million.
Always do better.
Always, Chris.
I think I'm going to continue that sort of pessimistic trend. I'm only going 68% positive critics, mostly because I don't know the people behind this to have enough to stand on. I'm looking at James Bobbin and Nicholas Stoller. Nicholas Stoller did Yes Man. We talked about him last week. Fun with Dick and Jane, Get Him to the Greek. I don't know that these guys can write the hilarious movie that the Muppets are worthy of, and I think critics are going to see that. I'm also going fairly low with box office, not much lower than you, Chris. I'm going to go 28 million as opening weekend.
Seems like there's a lot of competition for family movies right now, so I'd be surprised if that wasn't affected a little bit by just the abundance of other options.
Muppets Most Wanted. Sigma!
I am not Constantine.
Lights out! Turn them back on. I can't see anything. You'll have to wait till I'm like out of the hallway.
Everybody's feeling alright.